Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi, Barakatuh. Insha'Allah, today we are continuing together reading Surat Al-Bayyinah. Surat Al-Bayyinah is surah number 98 in the sequence of the mushaf, and we are in part 2. Last time we mentioned the Noon Sukun rules in the surah, and today we are starting to read the surah. So let us start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وبالصلاة على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. The surah starts with lam, and this meme has bayniyah. As we all know, it's tawassut. It belongs to the group of tawassut, which is lin umar. Okay, so we make sure to give it its time. The meme, let's give it its time until the sound is complete. As you all know, the meme and the noon, the exit of these two letters, is divided into two parts. Regarding the meme, the exit, one part is the lips and the other part is the nasal. So we need to give the nasal time, the nasal sound time, until the sound is complete. So we say lam, lam, and then يَكُنِ الَّذِينَ. This noon has a kasra, okay? And why is this kasra? It was supposed to be a sukun. It is a sukun noon, okay? But because there is a meeting of two sukun letters, which is the noon and the lam, what happened here? We add a kasra. So we say لم يكن الذين. What if I stop here? I'm gonna stop with a sukun. I'm gonna say لم يكن يكن. Okay, as any other letter, I pronounce it a sukun. But this kasra is because of iltiqa as-sakinin, meaning that there are two sukun came after each other. You know, when the first one is a mad, an elongating letter, then we cancel the pronunciation of the mad. But regarding the noon, we move it with a kasra. لم يكن الذين. This lam, make sure not to pronounce any ghunna with the lam. لم يكن الذين. Two counts for the ya. This dal, don't pronounce it as a. Last time I mentioned the makhraj, the exit. So it's the tip of the tongue against the edge of the upper two teeth, the incisors. So it's vina. And then kafaru. This ra is elevated, but the fa is not and the kaf is not. So don't say kafa. It's kafaru. This waw was two counts. Don't forget the mad. Okay. لم يكن الذين كفروا. This is not pronounced. Min ahli. We mentioned this in part number 1 of this surah, so I'm not gonna mention it again, but this is izhar. I'm gonna pronounce the noon. Min this ha, what does the ha has as a character? It has rakhawa, it has softness. So the sound of this letter runs, okay? So what do? We say lil. I'm gonna drop hamzatul wasli, and we are going to move from the lam kasra to the lam sukun. Lil lil kitabi. Two counts for the alif. Well, we drop hamzatul wasli if it's in the middle of my pronunciation, and the lam has this bayniyah, lin umar. Okay, so we are going to say well, mush, mush. There's a running sound here because it has this softness. And it also has tafashi. This letter has a unique character which is called tafashi. A lot of air spreading outside the mouth. Mushrikina. Make a good kasra under the ra, and this ra is not elevated, so it's mushrikina. 2 counts for the ya. And then we have the word munfakina. Make sure, first of all, this is ikhfa, and we talked about it in the first recording. So there is a ghunna here, but make sure that this dhamma does not move with me, okay, to the ikhfa. So we don't say mun, mun, no. This dhamma belongs to the meme but does not belong to the noon. So it's munfa, munfakina. 2 kaf because we have a shadda. Fakki, fakkina. 2 counts for the ya because this is harf mad. Munfakina. Hatta, shaddata, hatta. 2 counts for the alif. Very important. It's very important, those mad letters, because it makes such a difference in the reading. Imagine we are not pronouncing those mad letters. It's going to be, for example, al-kitabi wal-mushrikina munfakina. You see? So the mad letter, the letters of elongation gives softness in the reading. Okay? Hatta ta'tiyahumul bayyinah. This hamza has a sukun. It has hardness, meaning that the makhraj, the exit of the hamza, closes when it's sukun. And the exit of it is in the furthermost part of the throat. So by closing the throat, this is the sound of the hamza. So we say ta, ta. So keep its sukun. Don't make a qalqala in it. Don't say ta. Okay? And then when we pronounce the hamza, go to the ta. Ta, ti, ta, tiyahumul bayyinah. Okay? So this hamza has sukoon on top of it. So keep it as it is. Ta, tiyahumul. Okay. And don't leave the makhraj of the hamza before you start reading the next letter. So leave the makhraj when you are starting to read the ta. Otherwise, there will be qalqala. So you say ta, ti, okay? And make sure this is not harf mad. The ya is not harf mad. It has a fatha. So it's ta, ti, ya. Humul bayyinah. There's nabr here in the ya shadda, so that we can show the ya. Humul bayyi, okay? Bayyinah. And make sure that we end with a sukoon ha. And this is the difference between the ta and the ha. If I'm going to connect, I'm going to read it at ta. If I am going to stop, I stop on a ha letter. Al-bayyinah. If I connect, al-bayyinatu rasulum. Okay? And then ra. This is elevated. The ra is elevated. Make sure that this scene is lowered. Don't pronounce it with a sad sound. Don't say rasu, rasu. No. Go to the makhraj of the sin. Rasu. 2 counts for the waw, harf mad. And then we have a tanween after it, a meme. And this is idgham with a ghunna. Rasulun minallahi. Minallahi. Okay, and this lam is elevated because we have a fatha letter before it. If it's a kasra, the lam will be lowered, muraqqaqa, mustafila. But because there is a fatha before the name of Allah, then we are going to pronounce the lam elevated. Minallahi. And then yatlu. Yes. This ta has hams, has whisper sound, right? Because it's sukoon, and we learned that it has this hams. Yet some students read it with a seen sound. So it's read like this. Yet. So this hams is pronounced from the makhraj of the seen, close to the seen, although it should be pronounced from the exit, the makhraj of the ta. Yet. It's not yet. Okay, very, very important. And something else, don't get it from the sides of the tongue, like yet. Can you hear the sound? Yet. This means that I'm getting it from the sides of the lam, and I'm talking about the hums, this hums sound, this whisper sound. So make sure to pronounce it from the place where you are pronouncing the ta, and make sure that it is sukoon. Okay? Yet, lu. 2 counts for the waw. We drop pronouncing this alif fariqa, and then su. This is elevated, the sad, su, and then hu. Okay, so it's suhu, suhu, famutahara. This is going to be idgham. 2 counts because of the ghunna of the meme. Suhu, famutahara. We also talked about this rule, so we are not going to repeat it again. And then the ta is elevated. Make sure to make the itbaq. Ta, mutta. The itbaq is to rise your tongue, the whole tongue, and touch it all around the back of the upper teeth. Mutta. Otherwise, it's going to be pronounced a ta, and that's not correct. It's not mutta. It's mutta ha. What about the ha? The ha is not elevated. What about the ra? It's elevated. What about the ha again? It's not. You see? So make sure don't elevate the ha in both places. So it's suhufan mutahhara. Ra. Go down with the ha again. Fiha. 2 counts for the ya and 2 counts for the alif. Fiha. Now, this word here, kutubun, I have a dhamma. So I am going to keep the dhamm continuing until the ba. So the kaf dhamma, ta dhamma, ba dhamma, all of them, I'm going to keep my mouth or my lips with this dhamma until I finish the whole word. Kutubun. And then I go to the qaf. This rule is ikhfa with the letter qaf. The letter qaf, as we all know, it's elevated. So this ghunna is going to be elevated. Kutubun bon qayyi. And there's nabr here in the ya because of the ya shadda. Those of you who do not know the meaning of nabr, nabr is to emphasize. Qayyi, and it exists in all the languages. This nabr, this emphasizing on a letter or something. Like, for example, when I say, how are you? Or how are you? Or how are you? You see, we are making nabr in different places, and this is the nabr. So here, to show the ya shadda, we make this nabr. Qayyimah. And we stop with the ha sukoon. Okay, let's move to the next ayat. We finished ayah number 3, and let's start ayah number 4. And let us see what we have in this ayah at the moment. And then wama, 2 counts for the alif. Tafarra. We have a ra shadda elevated, a qaf is elevated too. So it's tafarraqa. Tafa. Don't say tafa. Tafarraqa alladhina. I'm going to drop Hamzat al-Wasli. I'm going to go to the lam shadda. Tafarraqa alladhina. 2 counts for the ya. Dhina. And then utu. 2 counts for here, and 2 counts for here if I'm gonna stop here. Utu. 2 counts, 2 counts. But what I'm gonna connect, okay? So Hamzat al-Wasli is dropped, and I have 2 sukoon, the waw sukoon and the lam sukoon. What do? I drop the mad. So it's utul ta dhamma, and I go immediately to the lam sukoon. Utul kitaba. 2 counts here for the alif. Illa. 2 counts for the alif again. And then we have here iqlab with a ghunna. Min ba'di. Min ba'di. 2 counts for the alif. Maja. Here we have mad, muttasil, connected mad. Okay, and we agreed that we are going to keep the mad 4 counts. It's 4 or 5. Okay, so we say Ja'athumul bayyinah. This is the mad. Ja'at. We have also hams here. Make sure the same thing I'm going to say regarding the hams of the ta. Pronounce it from the makhraj of the ta. Ja'at, at, humul, humul. I'm going to drop here, and I move from the mim dhamma to the lam sukoon. Humul bayyina. There's nabr here because of the ya shadda. Bayyi. Okay, bayyina, and we stop on a sukoon letter. Wama. This is mad munfasil. Munfasil. Okay, it's not the same word, so it's either 2 or 4 or 5 counts, but 2 with conditions. We do not do it, okay? So we agree to take the 4. Wama. 4 counts, and then umiru. We have a kasra here, so make sure to pronounce it. Umiru. The ra is elevated, and again we have the same mad, same thing. Ru. So this is also 2, 4, or 5. Same mad here. إلا 2 counts for the alif. ليعبدوا الله. How many letters here that we are not going to pronounce? Okay. ليعبدوا الله. This is the kha is elevated. The sad is elevated. Although it has a kasra, it is still elevated. مخلصين. 2 counts. Okay. لهدين. I'm cancelling Hamzatul Wasli, cancelling the lam. So I go from the ha dhamma to the dal. مخلصين له الدين. له الدين. Make sure not to make any hams in the dal. Don't make it له ti. Okay? So it's له الدين. 2 counts. And then حنفاء. This is مد متصل. It's connected mad. Okay? And we are going to extend it as we mentioned 4 counts or 5 depending on what you wish, but we agreed on 4. حنفاء. ويقيم. 2 counts here. We have elevated letter ويقي. Even if the qaf has a kasra, it is still elevated, like the sad here. Si, qi. Okay, it's a different level of elevation, but it is still elevated. But try not to say qi, trying to force the elevation. No. The highest is the qaf. If it's written like this, this is the highest elevation, and if it's like this, it's the lower elevation. So وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ. This is dropped, this is dropped, and this is dropped, and this one is dropped also. Okay, so how many letters are dropped? 4. وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ. Immediately to the sa shadda, and the sa is elevated. As-salah. Don't say as-salah. وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ. No. وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ. This has the sad has a running sound, so give it its running sound. As-sa. And of course, this is 2 counts, and we are pronouncing an alif, not a waw. We mentioned this before. وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُ. This hamza sukoon, make sure to keep it as it is. Don't move it. Don't make a qalqala. And don't let go of the makhraj closed until you start pronouncing the ta. وَيُؤْتُ. So this waw is cancelled. This is cancelled. Hamzatul Wasli is cancelled, and the lam is cancelled. So I'm going to move from the ta dhamma to the za. وَيُؤْتُ za. And the za sukoon has this running sound also. وَيُؤْتُ za. Zakata. 2 counts for the alif. And when I stop with a sukoon. وَيُؤْتُ الزكاة. I extend the alif. مد عارض للسكون. وذلك. 2 counts for the alif. Pronounce the dhal from the makhraj. وذلك. لك. دين 2 counts for the ya. دين Cancel Hamzatul Wasli. I pronounce the lam. I move from the noon dhamma to the lam sukoon. Dinul, nul. Don't pronounce the lam while your lips are rounded for the dhamma. Don't say dinul, nul. No, it's dinul, nul. Qaf is elevated. Qayyi. We are going also here to make nabr so that we emphasize on the ya. It has a shadda. Qayyimah. And I stop with a ha. Okay. Now we finished here till ayah number 5, and insha'Allah next time, insha'Allah, we continue the surah. I thank you so much for attending and your attention. If you like and find those recordings of benefit, kindly press like, share the knowledge with others, and subscribe if you're interested to receive the recordings as soon as they are posted. I'll see you in the next recording, insha'Allah. Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh.